Good afternoon, everybody. So we have come to the second session of software testing. So just we'll recap the things what we discussed in the previous chapter, that is a previous session, what we discussed. So we discussed about power of software, challenges in software, and we discussed about software fiascos. These are the things what you discussed in the last class. What is the power of software? You discussed challenges in software projects and software fiascos. So the last topic what we discussed software fiascos, in which what you can call there were so many failures of the software projects were there. So we have discussed that. One was Arine 5 and one more, which one we have discussed? We discussed the last one was Arine 5 and Patriot missile. Yes, these are the two failures what we have discussed. Yes, in addition to this, so some other failures were also available. We are going to discuss that today. Yes, fine. So we discuss some other failures, software fiascos or failures that were occurred in the projects. We'll discuss. So in this today's session, we are going to discuss about the following topics. We are going to discuss, that is Mars Pathfinder. This project was also a failure. Then City Scanner, that also was a failure, and the Great Bank Robbery and FBI Virtual Case File. So these were some other projects which were failure, or there were some drawbacks were there. What were the drawbacks? Due to small mistakes, they made it a big blunder there. So that means the testing was not done properly. So these were the software failures. So because of this, we need to do testing there, we can call. So these are the topics we'll be discussing today. So the 4 failures are there. In addition to 2 Arine 2 and Patriot missile, 2 failures which lead to what you call software failures were there. In addition to this, so we'll be discussing what is Mars Pathfinder failure, City Scanner, Great Bank Robbery, FBI Virtual Case File. And in addition to that, what are the reasons for software failure, and what are the solution for software failure? You're going to discuss it. That's fine. Next, first one, Mars Pathfinder. What is this project? So NASA, which you're familiar with, NASA is a space mission in America. So they have launched this. They wanted to launch the vehicle on the Mars. What was this? We'll see. The NASA mission Pathfinder landed on Mars on 4th July 1997. Yes, they landed on Mars on July 4th. What happened? We'll see. The mission was successful, and lot of information was sent to Earth from the Mars planet. They sent the information to Earth. After a few days, the computing system started resetting indefinitely or intermittently at regular intervals. For example, after 1 hour, for 1 hour it was working. After 1 hour, it got restarted, like continuously after a particular interval. And the important data was not being received on the Earth. So that was the problem. What was the problem on that? See, what was the NASA launched a vehicle on the Mars on 1997. It was successful. They launched it, and after that, what happened? So after every particular duration, assume 1 hour, so the system was, or the machine, the Pathfinder was resetting it. Yes, the system was resetting, what you call that. The computer was resetting it. The onboard computer used a real-time operating system using an exact replica of the computer on Earth. The debugging was done to find what the fault. So the computer what we are using is the same computer is also used in the mission, that is. So what happened? So what was the mistake there in that? We'll see that. There are 3 tasks were running on the system, one with higher priority, one with low priority, and one with medium priority. Intermittently, the task with the medium priority was running for a long time, while the task with the high priority was waiting for the task with the low priority to complete. So what happened? So they had assigned a priority for the job, as you discussed in your, we'll be discussing in your operating system also. So the jobs were executed based on various methodologies are there. Like you can execute it first come first service, or based on priority, yes, based on reservation, something like that. Yes, like that. So they had given the task on the system were given priority, what you can call it. Were given priority, you can call that. Yes. So they were given priority. So the job with the medium priority was taking more amount of time, what you can call it. It was taking more amount of time. Then what happened? So the job with the higher priority will be executed first, second the medium, and the low priority. So what was happening? The job with the medium priority was taking more amount of time, and the job with the lower priority was what you call waiting After low priority comes the higher priority. The high priority was not able to execute at all, what you can call that. It was unable to execute at all, what you can call it. It was unable to execute. So that was the problem. It's fine. Then the task with the low priority was not getting the CPU time because a high priority task was running. The watchdog time, suspecting a deadlock, was resetting the processor. So what happened there? So what happened was, so the job was given higher priority. The higher priority job was continuously executing. So, and the low priority was not getting the job, what you can call time, CPU time. So what the processor identified? The processor identified that there was a deadlock. So there was a deadlock. So it was resetting the system. So such thing was happened there. So this problem was due to a bug in the inter-task communication module. Engineers uploaded a modified file onto the Pathfinder to solve the problem there. So later they identified that why it was happening there. So what happened? The processor identified that the low job was waiting and the higher job with the higher priority was also waiting. There was a deadlock. What do you mean by deadlock? When two jobs try to execute the same time at the same time. That is what you call deadlock, what you can call that. Yes. So you'll be discussing that again in operating system in detail there. Yes. Discussing that in detail there. Yes. Yes, that is what. So deadlock there. So due to this deadlock, that was the bug in the system. So what happened? The CPU was getting restarted. Then later the engineers identified this bug, and they later what they did, they identified this bug and they resolved this bug, and it was solved. Hence, this was one of the problem. That is what you call the Mars Pathfinder problem. What you call this? That was the error there. So because of this, you need to, what you can call, the testing is very, very important, what you can call that. It's fine. Next problem. What is the next problem? CT scanner. There was another problem called as the CT scanner. What is the CT scanner problem? We'll see that. In a Canadian hospital, suddenly a patient undergoing the scanning died. The machine was rechecked thoroughly, and then again the scanning started. After scanning of a few patients was completed, another, what you can call, patient died. Randomly, patients were dying, and after death of more than 20 patients, the defect was identified. See what happened? You're scanning, we do scanning or X-ray something. So what happens when you're doing X-ray? Suppose if a patient dies, what happens? You'll be shocked. So there's something problem in the scanning machine there. So we thought the same thing was happening in that scanning machine. What was the problem? So after a certain interval of time, one man was being died. So due to this, they almost 20 patients was died. So after losing the lives of 20 patients, then the defect was identified. What was the defect there? The defect was a glitch or problem in the hardware was resetting the software. During the short time of that resetting, the patient was exposed to large amount of radiation because of lack of control on the radiation. As a result, the patient used to die. See, for example, scanning of 10 patients. After scanning of 20 patients, there was some hardware problem in the scanner. So due to that, the CT scanner was resetting it or restarting it. When it was getting restarted or resetting, the ultraviolet radiations or the X-ray radiations or the scanning radiation exposed to the patient. So due to this, the patient was died. So almost 20 patients lost their lives due to this small bug. So that is very, very important. So because of this, we need to do testing there. You need to test in all possible ways, what do you call. See, after 20 patients losing their life, then they identify the defect there. So it is a very grave mistake or a very big mistake, you can call that. So there was some hardware problem in the scanner. Due to this, what you call, the scanner was getting restarted, and when it was restarted, when there was a patient, any patient was there, so what happened? That patient was exposed to your what you call radiations, yes, ultraviolet radiations. So then due to this, the patient was being died. Hence, almost 20 patients lost their life. Then they were able to identify the defective job. So this is the CT scanner problem, what you can call. Yes, so these are all real-time problem which were a failure, what you can call. So we need to, because of this, all these failures, so we can say that what you call the testing is very, very important. A small bug, see, they were not tested, so they were not tested properly. So because of this, it happens, what you call. Yes, or by mistake, it sometimes unknowingly also it may happen there. Yes, fine. Next example or the next fiasco or software failure was a great bank robbery. So what was that great bank robbery? So in a bank automation project, a development engineer and a bank employee together played a trick. What was the trick? They played a small trick. What is that? While calculating the interest, they truncated the values for 2 digits. What do you call? They truncated the values for 2 digits. Like for example, after the fraction you have 56.1005 or something. So what they did, they truncated the values for only 2 digits, 56.50, only 2 digits. They did not take 4 digits. What they did, you see that. Then, for example, suppose interest is calculated at the rate of 3.5% on the deposit. They deposited some money, for example some dollars or some rupees, so they paid the interest at around 3.5%. Yes, the interest will be, so for example, what was the rate of interest? The rate of interest was 4.34875. So what they did, so instead of 4 digits, out of this amount, $4.34 would be credited to the actual account holder's account, and the balance was remaining 0.00875 to their account. What they did was they calculated they calculated the interest for 4 decimal digits, and they truncated the 2 digits values were transferred to the customer's account, and remaining other values, like for example 0.00875, was transferred to this account. A small amount, it looks 0.000875, a small meager amount it is, but how many customers may be there? There may be thousands or lakhs of customers may be there. A small interest, when calculated together, it became in millions then. Since the amount was very small, no customer will complain to the bank. See, it is a very fractional amount, 0.00875. So the customer will not complain that a small amount has been gone like that. So they will ignore it, what you can call that. Yes, fine. Since the amount is very small, no customer will complain to the bank. But the amount would be more when millions of transactions takes place. So this small amount, it becomes a bigger amount due to the large customers. Yes, this crime was noticed for a few years. It was noticed when account was suddenly closed. When it was noticed, what do you call? So they were the employees of the bank. So what they did, the employees might have left the job and they have closed the account. So when they closed the account, then there was an inquiry that why these two employees have closed the account, or what is the reason for leaving the job. When they inquired it, they found out that there were so much of amount was transferred. The customers' small fractions of interest was transferred to their account. What do you call that? A large amount was transferred there. Yes, that was happened. So such things happen there. What you can call. So this is an example. This is another software failure. That is what you call the great bank robbery. What you can call that. Yes, that is another failure. What you call that. Yes. Next failure. Next one was FBI. What you call virtual case file. What you call. What is this virtual case file? What you call. So Federal Bureau of Investigation, it is a investigating agency in America. So they initiated a US dollar 170 million project in 2001. So they developed a project. Yes, they initiated some project, like as you're developing some projects here also. What was the aim of the project? The aim of the project was to develop a data warehouse that stores the multimedia information gathered by the intelligence agents all over the world, which provides necessary intelligence for future investigation. What was their aim? Their aim was to develop a warehouse which stores multimedia information gathered by the intelligence agents. There were all over the world, their intelligence are there. America, Russia, India, England, UK, any country you name, every country has got their intelligence bureau is there. Like as we have a CID. CID is a investigating agency in our India, or CBI, what you call that. CBI also is there. So that is about intelligence agency of our country. So they wanted to collect the information, whatever the information of every country that is going to collect it, they wanted to store on a central database. The multimedia information they wanted to store, the information of all the agencies of all over the world Is important information which is required for investigation. They wanted to what you can call store it there. That was happening. They wanted to store it. Then the software component of the project was worth US dollar 105 million and 7,000 lines of codes were written. After 3 years of development, the project was closed in April 2005. See what happened? They started this project in 2001, but they tried to collect the information, but due to some reasons or due to some political issues or maybe policies of the particular government, the project was shelved or the project was closed, what we can call that. So how much money? Around $105 million were wasted. And they had written around 7,000 lines of codes were written. After development for 3 years, the project was closed, what you call that. That was happening. In this way, what you call, these were all the, what you call fiascos that were happening. Yes, yes, these were all the fiascos. Yes. So, so we have discussed two fiascos in the last session. What were the Ariane 5 and Patriot missile? And today we have discussed three failures. The three failures are what we discussed. Which are the failures we discussed today? So the failures what we discussed today are Mars Pathfinder, the one failure. Next is we discuss about city scanner failure, then the Great Bank Robbery failure, and the FBI virtual case failure. So totally 6 failures are there. So these are some of the examples. There will be plenty. They have listed a few software failures that were, these are all the real-time applications or real programs or the real application that were failure. So we need to, because of this, the testing is very, very important, what you call it. Testing is very, very important, what you call it. Yes, fine. Next, we'll discuss about the next topic is the what were the reasons for software failure. Why? What is the reason why the software has failed? So there may be some reasons. What are those? We'll be going to discuss it. Yes, the software failures may be due to the following reasons: due to people, due to technology, due to time, and due to money. What you call it? Yes, due to money. So what is the first one? First, people. So the lack of quality awareness, lack of proper communication, lack of interpersonal skills, and lack of professional ethics are the main reasons. The first failure is due to people. What is the people? The people may be lack of quality awareness. The test engineers, they are not qualified. They are qualified, but they are not having much information, what you call that. Yes, quality awareness is not that. Yes, lack of quality. They are not what you can call skilled enough to do testing. They are skilled, but they are not properly skilled or what you call technically skilled, what you can call, where they can do testing properly. Lack of quality awareness. Fine. Next, among the people, proper communication. When there is no proper communication between the test engineers, it may happen that testing is not done by individual person. It may be so many, a group of members will be there. Team members will be there. A team leader, team member, tester, developer, what you call designer. So there will be proper communication between among them. If there is no proper communication or lack of proper communication, then it may lead to software failure. Then one more failure due to people is lack of interpersonal skills and lack of professional ethics are the main reasons. Ethics, I have done mistake or I may not be knowing the things. Instead of asking somebody else, so I may not ask it. I know I'll do whatever I know. If I doesn't know also, whatever I know, I'll do it and finish my task. I will not somebody else due to my, what do you call, ethics or ego you can call. Why I should ask him? Something, you have got ego there. That should not be there. So that is what the lack of professional ethics and interpersonal skills. If you're not skilled enough, you don't know the technology, you don't know the tool, then what happens? You cannot do testing. So due to people, these are the reasons for the failure due to the people. What are those? Lack of quality awareness, lack of proper communication, lack of interpersonal skills, and lack of professional ethics are the main reasons for it. It's fine. Next. Second, next, due to technology. What may be technology? So you may not use proper software testing tools, or the technology which you are using may be outdated or the older one, or the technology which you are using, it may be a new one, but it is unable to identify all the bugs. Improper knowledge and expertise in using new technology leads to lots of problems during implementation, what you call it. Yes, during implementation. So improper knowledge, so you are not you're using the tool or technology, but you're not having sufficient knowledge in that. Yes, due to that, that may be the case, sir. Then improper knowledge, yes, improper knowledge and expertise in using new technology leads to lots of problems during implementation. That is the second problem. Next, time. Due to market pressure, organization tries to reduce software development time, so engineers develop the projects in hurry. So project will not have required quality due to less development time. So as we discussed in software development life cycle, what you call the testing is the last phase. So what happens while developing life cycle, they will take more amount of time. And once the deadline comes, a less amount of time is given to testing team. But testing requires more amount of time. So due to the hurry or urgent or due to deadlines, the testing is not done properly. Due to pressure, market pressure, deadline, you need to target, you got the deadline, you need to submit the project and so on. So organization tries to reduce the testing time will be given less amount of time. Due to this, the test engineers will try to complete the project and hence due to short time, the quality is going to come down. That is the time is the next factor for the failure. Next, money. And one more failure, money. What is the main money? Due to money also. What is that money? What you can call, while estimating the project cost, people make mistakes. Once a budget is given, the project must be completed within that budget. Otherwise, project is declared as a failure, what you call. So money is also the one of the reason. So you might have given some estimation cost. You require 5 lakhs for a particular project, for example. The estimation is 5 lakhs, what you call it. Yes, 5 lakhs are required. So but what happened? The estimate becomes more. You are unable to complete your project within the 5 lakhs. That may happen that. So while estimating the project cost, people make mistake. The estimation is done wrong. Once a budget is given, the project must be completed within that budget. Otherwise, project is declared as a failure, what you can call. Is it clear? That is also the one of the reason, what you call. So these are the 4 reasons for your software failure, what you call. What are those failures? People, technology, time, and money. Yes, fine. So these are the reasons for the failure. Yes, next. The reasons for failure of some software projects can also be due to, as we discussed, people related problems, technology related problems, time related problems, and money related problems. A project is considered as a failure if quality software is not delivered or if the project is not completed within the time frame, or if the project is not completed within the budget. So when can you call the project as a failure? So we can call the project as a failure if the project is not completed within the time, or if the project is not completed within the budget, what we call. So budget, for example, was a budget, the cost may be 5 lakhs, but your project is taking more than 5 lakhs. Then you can say that your project is a failure one. It's fine. So these are the reasons for the failure. Then how to, yes, so these are the reasons. We know money, what is that? The people, technology, time, and money are the reasons for failure. Now there should be a solution for the problem. What is that solution? To overcome the software failure, a systematic and disciplined approach is used for software development. To make the software project successful, there are 3 important tips or guidelines you should follow. They are, what is that? Every employee in the organization should be committed to software quality assurance. Yes. So every employee in the organization should be committed to software quality assurance. That is, the software engineers should be completely do testing to improve the quality of the project. So quality is very, very, they should give importance of quality there. It is committed. We want 100% bug-free software. We don't want any single error. So the test engineer should put effort to complete the project or do the testing thoroughly to improve the quality. Why we are doing testing? Testing is being done to improve the quality as well as to remove the bugs there. The product must be tested thoroughly. The software product should be tested thoroughly. Then every individual must follow a code of ethics and professional practice, what you call it. So everybody should follow what are the code of ethics? So code of, as we discussed in the previous semesters, professional ethics. Every profession is having some ethics there. So it is every individual or the software engineer should follow the ethics and follow the professional practice, what you call. So by this, we can overcome the software problems or the problems whether it is the time, money, people, and technology. To overcome all these problems, we need to what you call every software engineer should be committed, and what you can call you should committed to the quality assurance. The products must be tested thoroughly, and every individual must follow a code of ethics and professional practice. Yes. So these are the things what we need to discuss today there. So just a few questions are there. So what are the reasons for failure of software projects that can be done due to? What is the answer for this? Can somebody answer? Somebody answer?
All of the above.
Yes?
All of the above.
Yeah. People related problem, technology time, it is all of the above what you call. Next question. Software flaws are or software fiascos. Which were those?
All of the above.
All of the above.
Mars Pathfinder, the city scanner, Great Bank Robbery, all of the above. All of the above are the what you call the software fiascos or the software fiasco flaws, what you call that. Yes. Next, state true or false. Every employee in the organization should be committed to software quality assurance. True or false?
True.
True. So everybody is committed, then you can improve the quality of the software. That is fine. Next. Technology, improper knowledge and expertise in using the new technology leads to lots of solution during implementation. True or false?
False.
Improper knowledge and expertise in using new technology leads to lots of solution during implementation. Proper knowledge is so what you call to solve the improper knowledge. So it is a false statement. What you call this? Fine. Yes. So these are the topics what we discussed today. Then any doubts in this today's session? Just you can tell me. Any doubts are there? Yes. Any doubts? Are you following the things?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay then. So we shall end today's class. So then we shall continue again in the tomorrow's class. Okay. Any other things? Yes. Any other things? You want to ask any doubts or something? So have you received the textbook? It's there with everybody, I suppose, no? Textbook is there with everybody, yes?
Sir.
Is it available? Textbooks are there, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay then. So we'll wind up
Yes, sir.
yes, we'll wind up the today's session and fine. Thank you then. Fine.